Welcome to the National Real Estate Post. Frank Ray here with our friend Barry Habib. Before we get started, just want to remind you guys in Mortgage Jobs Now, we have a bunch of employers. Listen to these guys, Barry. Absolute Home Mortgage, American Capital Group, Lionsgate Real Estate Group, American Financial Group, Angel Oak, Cal Coast Financial, Fairway, Hancock, GSF, MDC, Pro Lending, Mortgage 300, Real Estate Lending and Solutions, Remen, Watermark, Top Flight, Summit. Come on, there's a bunch going on in there. If you guys are looking to make a move because of circumstances beyond your control, or you just think it's time to do that, go ahead, jump into Mortgage Jobs Now and take a look and see if somebody might be in there that's a fit for you. The banner's on your right on your desktop or down below on your mobile device, or there's a link somewhere around here. So with that, we'll move on to Barry Habib. How are you today, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great, my man. And thank you so much for having me on. Appreciate it.
Oh, man, always a pleasure to have you here. And as usual, let's start off with some rates, and then let's talk some real estate. First of all, with rates with respect to the 10-year Treasury, which is what we kind of look at to kind of gauge which way rates are going as a mortgage professional for the realtors who are listening right now. You were saying, hey, look out for that 3.25 mark, kind of the top. We're going to be careful about that. And you nailed it. We hit it exactly there. You called that one. But you've got some thoughts on interest rates going forward here, and you've got some thoughts on the stock market. You said there might be some opportunity for us here. What's happening?
Yeah. So here's the thing: is that we want to be a little bit cautious here. Fortunately, we thought that 3.25 would be a little bit of a ceiling, and we were careful because if we break through 3.25 on the 10-year Treasury, there's a lot of room for yields to rise, and that's one of the things we want to be careful of, because we could see yields if 3.25 is broken get to 3.6 or 3.75% is a real good ceiling. But that means mortgage rates would be in the mid fives, 5.5, 5 5/8, a different environment. And what we have to start thinking about is, a CEO of our own individual business, what strategies would we be employing in that situation? Especially if we think that, as you know, brother, we've been talking now for a year where we had forecasted 2020 as our call on a recession. And it's nice to see a lot of other people are kind of chiming into that.
Yeah.
But what does that mean, a recession in 2020? It means an opportunity for lower rates at that point in time. So chances for refinances. So what programs and strategies, and what are you putting your customers in today, knowing that you're going to have that refinance opportunity in 2020? I mean, what do you think, Frank?
I don't know.
I love that. So, Frank, the thing of it is, though, is that we really have to think of doing this mortgage planning as more than one loan. It should be a series of loans that will help people through life events or market events. And don't just do their mortgage today. Think about how this mortgage works in conjunction with the next couple of mortgages that you'll be doing. So if you know you're going to be doing a mortgage, or think there's a high probability that there'll be a refinance opportunity to a lower rate 2 years down the road, what does that do for your strategy today?
Yeah.
And how do you have that conversation? In fact, heck, set up your next refinance meeting before you even do the purchase transaction. Okay, so that's what some good mortgage planning thoughts might be. And look, as a real estate agent, you want to be thinking about this in terms of your negotiation, because if we break 3.25% on the 10-year, okay. Now we know mortgages are based on mortgage-backed securities, but the 10-year is just a good barometer for direction, and everybody's looking at the same thing on a level playing field. So when you take a look at that, if you see that's broken convincingly, and you know that now we've got a lot of room to run to the upside, well, if that were the case, then talk to your sellers and explain to them that, hey, listen, even if you have to go a little bit lower on the price to meet the bid that's out there from a potential buyer, do it so you can get in on the new purchase you need to at a lower mortgage rate. Or the buyer gets to maybe come up a little bit and take advantage of a lower mortgage rate. Even if they could save a couple of bucks, it's probably better off to spend a little bit more and save a lot on the interest rate for that buyer as well. So just thoughts on how to do this really as a mortgage advisor.
Gotcha. Let's segue into real estate now that you brought that up. There's a lot of it's crazy out there right now. It's just confusing. I mean, some markets are up, some markets are down. I mean, what's your thoughts on it?
I don't know. I was going to ask you, what do you think?
I don't know.
I love the arms coming out of your neck. I love that. Okay, so I just had to ask. So here's the thing. It is confusing at this point in time because people get a lot of different numbers confused. So first of all, appreciation rates declining or decelerating does not mean prices are going down. Okay, Doesn't mean that in some markets you could have a little bit of price erosion. That's possible. Listings that are coming down in what is being asked does not mean prices are coming down. In the most recent numbers that we have, that we received last week, both from FHFA and Case-Shiller, they actually show that even on an annual basis, we're seeing appreciation in between 5.5% and 6.1%, depending on the report that you look at, okay? But that's appreciation year over year in cities around the country. However, even if you look at it more closely, month over month report, it's still, believe it or not, a little higher. Now, only 0.1% higher, very modest, but it was up. So what does that tell us? It tells us that, yeah, in some markets, you're going to see a little bit of price erosion, but this is a different, everybody wants to call a crash, right? But let's just take a look at where we were when we really had a crash. You had 580 FICO, 100 LTV, no income verification loans.
Right.
Yeah. Lots of investment properties, right?
Right.
You had renters that were 31% of the marketplace. Today, renters are 36 to 37% of the marketplace, which means that it's a lot more expensive to rent today, making the purchase option better. Also, a lot more renters who can come in and purchase. You have population by demographics. Before, you had first-time home buyer population declining. You look at that by going 33 years before that and looking at the birth rates. If you go back 33 years from today, that population will accelerate because births accelerated 33 years ago, 32 years ago, 31 years ago, median age of first-time home buyer being 33. So for the next 7 years, that demand will increase. So it's completely different dynamics. That's not to say, Frank, you couldn't see some small price flattening, some small, in certain areas, prices actually declining, but we're not seeing it yet. You're not seeing it yet. And for people to say, hey, prices are continuous decline, no, they haven't declined yet. So what we have to do is let's base it on the facts. It's not an emotional situation, it's factual. Because if we believe in the emotion, then people are going to start to say, hey, you know what? It's a bad housing market. We don't want to put out a false message. The true message is that prices are healthy, prices are stable. They may drop a little bit, but you can even factor in a small price decline may not be worth it based upon the aforementioned move that you're going to see in interest rates. So you should still be a buyer today. And it's very hard to time this exactly. And a home, you shouldn't look at the home value every day. What's my home value today? What's it tomorrow? Because it's not relevant. What you want to take a look at is if I do buy a home today, aside from all the benefits that you receive, when I exit, will that home have created a lot of wealth for me? And in most of our models, appreciation levels are declining significantly. That's not price depreciation. That's not losing money. That's, if you're going down the highway at 60 miles an hour and you slow down to 30, you're still going forward. Okay?
Yeah.
It's not brakes, stop, put it in reverse. That's price depreciation.
Right.
The big people get that confused. And what we want to make sure we understand is that over time, that investment, even at 2%, 3%, which is
still great.
Enormous wealth creation.
Right. That's what it's all about. It's still all about wealth creation. My mother's been in a real estate broker for over 40 years, and she's always said that too. You never know when it's the right time, right? You'll never know when it. You never know. So
very difficult.
She always says, yeah. So you know when the best time to sell or buy is? Today.
Well,
she's always said.
And mom's got some very good advice there, especially if your game plan is longer term. If your game plan is a very short term, well, then it is critical on your time.
Right. But most of the time, it's not. Let's be honest.
Bingo.
Most of the time, this is how middle America is going to build their wealth, and so this is a long-term strategy. Right.
According to the National Association of Realtors, somebody stays in that home for 10 years. That's their numbers, not mine, for 2017. People who sold their home in 2017 were there for 10 years before selling. So whether it's 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, 12 years, whatever it is, 11 years, it's all relatively long-term and over time. Look, Albert Einstein said that the eighth wonder of the world was compound interest. And so few people, and you should do this for your customers, do a compound of that value of the property over 8 or 10 years. It is mind-boggling.
Yeah, even at, like you said, even at low appreciation rates.
Do 2% and be really safe.
All right, we'll get out of here. We're going a little bit long, but it was well worth it. Always good, Barry. Thanks for all your insights. Love having you on the show, and we'll catch up.
Frank, what did you think of the show?
You know, Barry, I don't know. Thank you, Jackie.
Thanks,
keep my arms out of my neck. You have a good one.
And I want to say a special hi to a guest that you have there. I want to say a special hi to Brenda.
Special hi to Brenda. There's Brenda over there. Say hi. Say hi, Brenda. All right. All right. We'll catch you later. You guys leave your comments down below. Forward, share, subscribe. We'll catch you later here at the Nashville Real Estate Post.
Thanks, man.